Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to the final Monday Night Raw before Survivor Series for November 14th, 2016. The show opened up with every single Raw competitor who has a match on Sunday standing on the entrance ramp, and Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley standing in the ring. And Stephanie says that it is more than just SmackDown versus Raw. It is about proving that they drafted correctly, Daniel Bryan is wrong, and that Raw is not lazy, and that they are more superior than the entire SmackDown roster. And she also says that if they cannot, and if the entire Raw roster cannot be a team tonight, changes will be made. And Mick Foley goes on to announce that in order to help build team chemistry, a couple of matches are going to happen. Sheamus and Cesaro are going to team up and fight Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins, Chris Jericho, and Braun Strowman will team up to fight the New Day. Charlotte and Sasha Banks are going to team up and fight Alicia Fox and Nia Jax. And that led into the Cesaro and Sheamus match versus Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. And for the most of the match, Cesaro and Sheamus worked like a very good team, and Owens and Roman did not. But the end of the match, they kind of did. Kind of. A Superman punched the Sheamus, and he went for a spear on to Cesaro and onto Sheamus, and he ended up getting tagged in by Kevin Owens, and Owens didn't hit the pop-up powerbomb like he wanted to. Roman hits a Superman punch on Cesaro. Owens gets hit with a brogue kick. And then Roman spears Sheamus and drags Kevin Owens onto Sheamus and puts Kevin Owens onto Sheamus for the win. 1, 2, 3. Bo Dallas versus Sami Zayn. Haluva kick for the win. It was a pretty good match. But it was just kind of filled. There was a lot of matches. For the most part, there was a lot of matches. But, I mean, not really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 6 matches and 3 big segments. So, I mean, it did. The first 2 hours didn't feel long, but the last hour did. New Day versus Seth Jericho and Braun. Braun slams Xavier for the win. Seth and Chris Jericho get in each other's faces and pedigree to Chris Jericho. Otherwise, it was a fairly decent match. They kind of worked together. They kind of didn't. New Day was obviously the better team in that match. Brian Kendrick versus Sin Cara. This match was set up because before the match, Brian Kendrick held a cruiserweight meeting and said that he is going to lead all the cruiserweights to victory, and he's going to bring back the cruiserweight championship next week. So he has nothing to worry. They have nothing to worry about. They are not going to SmackDown. They are staying here on Raw. And Sin Cara said that it doesn't matter what he says. Kalisto would be a better champion than Brian Kendrick would ever be. And Brian Kendrick then made Sin Cara tap out to the captain's hook. The only thing I see with all of this happening is that with 205 Live happening in like 2 weeks, and it's right after SmackDown, that's the only reason I would think they could possibly give SmackDown the cruiserweights. But if that was their whole plan to begin with, why didn't they just put cruiserweights on SmackDown to begin with? You know, it's kind of stupid. If this was their whole plan, was to put the cruiserweights on Raw and then just move them over to SmackDown for Survivor Series, I don't know. Brock Lesnar and Goldberg come face to face. There is a line of security in the middle of the ring. Goldberg tells Heyman to shut up, does not let him get off his little speech. And he tells him to shut up and get the security out of the ring. And Paul tells him that the security are there for his own protection, and because he doesn't want Brock Lesnar to unleash on Goldberg. Goldberg says that there is a long list of people that Brock has conquered, but he's not on it. Paul gives an offer to back out of the match so that his son does not have to watch him get beaten. Goldberg rips off his shirt. Brock then pushes over some of the security. Paul says that Goldberg's son is going to be calling Brock Daddy after the match. Goldberg attacks the security. Brock gets out of the ring, stands on the apron, takes off his shirt, and then leaves. Goldberg stands in the ring. Segment over. And that's how that happened. It was it felt like it was 20 minutes. But yeah, they obviously weren't going to fight, but it was kind of good. The ending segment was probably my favorite, but we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, that whole segment was kind of good. Brock Lesnar did talk. He told the crowd to shut the hell up because he does not like them saying Goldberg and does not like that. So, yeah. But after that one promo where they failed to get Brock Lesnar over as a heel, everything kind of fell flat and got boring whenever they tried to do that. So, I don't know. Sasha and Charlotte versus Nia and Alicia. I guess this match was really quick because I walked upstairs really quick during a commercial. I watched the beginning of the match, walked upstairs during a commercial, came back down, and then the match was over. I was confused. But I guess Alicia tapped to the bank statement for the win. So there's that. They say they kept Nia strong, and Charlotte and Sasha picked up the win. But when I came back down, Bayley was in the ring giving people hugs. So there's that. Enzo, Cass, and the Club versus the Shining Stars and the Golden Truth. The ending was really cool. They actually worked as Enzo, Cass, and the Club actually worked as a team. And Big Cass hit a big boot, the Empire Elbow, tagged in Anderson. He hit a spine buster, tagged in Gallows. He hit the Magic Killer, all to Primo. And then Enzo wanted to get in some. They're like, hell yeah, they wanted to do that Air Enzo thing. I don't know what they really call it. I don't feel like calling it the Boom Shakalaka because that's a stupid fucking name for something. But I call it the Air Enzo. It sounds so much better than the Boom Shakalaka. But they were going to do whatever that move is called, and then Gallows starts laughing and then quickly pins Primo. So they work as a team, but then as soon as because Enzo wasn't in, they were just going to let him hit the move anyway. But Gallows was in, and then he just he just quickly pinned Primo and got the win. But that would have been cool if they hit it. The Big Boot, Empire Elbow, Spinebuster, Magic Killer, and then the Air Enzo. That would have been great. Oh, and if you know what that move is called, let me know. If it really is the Boom Shakalaka, I'm just going to call it Air Enzo because I don't like the Boom Shakalaka as a word or the name. Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon bring out Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan to talk about Survivor Series. And they said that they are definitely not out there to promote Smackdown 900 tomorrow night, featuring the return of The Undertaker. And they also say that they are definitely not out there to promote Smackdown 900 tomorrow night, featuring the return of the Cutting Edge and the Rated R Superstar. Shane says that SmackDown is a much better show. They drafted better, even though everything was set up for them to fail. They've done so much better, and I agree. SmackDown is a better show. Stephanie says that Shane is taking opportunities away from his roster by being in the match, but technically he didn't put himself in the match. Technically he might have storyline wise, but writing backstage wise, but he didn't technically on screen wise. Daniel put him in. Mick says that he knows Brian Kendrick and Sami Zayn will win, and that's why he put up the cruiserweight division. He didn't put it up because he just wanted a match. He put it up because he knows how confident he is in those two people. Team Raw comes out and they surround Shane and Daniel. And Daniel's like, "You guys stupid? You really think we'd come alone?" And then Team Smackdown comes out through the crowd. And Daniel Bryan gets out of the ring. Shane stays in there because he's part of Team Smackdown. And Owens tells AJ that on the Kevin Owens show, his title means absolutely nothing. And AJ's like, "Yeah, well, where I come from, that title means you're just the paper champion." And he said that you wouldn't even have that belt if you weren't stuck on Jericho's sugar tit. And Chris Jericho is like, "You know what, AJ? You know what happens to people who make fun of me? And me and my best friend? You know what happens? You know what happens to people who disrespect the Universal Champion? You just made the list. Yeah, that's right. You better wipe that soccer mom stupid haircut out of your face. You know what? Your stupid soccer mom hair just made the list as well." And then he points at James Ellsworth, who is a Team SmackDown mascot, standing on the apron. He's like, "What is that?" And this is probably the best part. He's like, "We have a lost child on ringside. Can somebody's parents come get it?" He's like, "Little boy, Chins McMahon. Do you know you look really weird? Do you know what happens to people who look really weird on Raw? You just made the list." And Bray tells Braun that he abandoned him, and that he gave him the keys to everything. The keys to the castle, and that they are going to destroy the monster that he created. And then Braun gets in the face of Randy Orton. Seth tells Shane that he has no idea what he has in store for him when him and Roman are on the same page. And Dean Ambrose says, "You know what?" He paces back and forth and then punches Jericho. They all out brawl. Braun slams Shane into the corner. AJ and Dean team up on Braun. Shane clotheslines Braun out of the ring. Dean takes out Seth. Jericho takes out AJ. RKO to Jericho. Superman punch to Orton and Bray after Bray was about to hit his sister Abigail. Pedigree to AJ, saving Roman from a Styles Clash. Seth and Roman then powerbomb AJ out of the ring into the rest of Team SmackDown, and that is how the show ends, with Team Raw standing tall in the ring as Team SmackDown walks away. Does that mean Team SmackDown's going to win? Potentially. I think it could happen. I really do. It'd be really cool. But we'd have to wait and see. SmackDown 900, Tuesday night, Cutting Edge, Undertaker. Can't wait. Anyway, Survivor Series predictions Friday or Saturday, whichever one I decide to upload it on. Survivor Series is Sunday. That's gonna be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Camp Counter Cody, and I'll see you guys next time. Toodles.